Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, that's so angry, guys.
Nope.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It is a catchy little tune, isn't it, Peter?
That song, though. That song. It was a beautiful era, my man. It was a beautiful era when we were building.
Yeah, so we are actually just talking about songs and intros and stuff like that. I know that Peter, coming on my channel at Own the Chaos, knows about my countdown and my little sizzle before I went live. But we definitely need to do that. We're going to be doing that now that we have enough footage here at DCTV. We're going to start making some really fun and cool stuff. Today's topics, obviously, you guys saw the title. Is the Ethereum merge overrated? We're going to get into that a little bit and kind of explain what's going on and what to expect. We have quite the countdown going on. We got about 12 hours, or I'm sorry, 16 hours or so to go before that merge actually takes place. Just checking in on the futures right now. S&P is up slightly. Just 8 points. The Dow's, we'll just say everything's flat. Dow's up 32 points. NASDAQ's up 35. We're looking at Bitcoin right now, and it is also up. Actually, it's down now. It was up, I thought. It's down 5.5%.
It's going to respect our buys, brother.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Bitcoin knows.
Yeah, and this is after the worst day that the Dow's had since June. If you guys recall that bottom slide down in June. And so it's been a rough day yesterday for the overall market, and cryptos included. We're going to get into all that stuff with some of our friends. What's up, Tamp? What's up, Greg?
What's going on? How we doing?
Love seeing you guys.
What's up, DCTV crew?
Every damn morning. I love it. I need to get my news today. We're getting close to all sorts of things. There's all kind of stuff going on. The ETH merge, boom.
Yes, and what the hell is ETH merge? How's that survey going? I'm curious how many people know about the merge.
I like steak.
You don't get steak as soon as ETH merges, Greg. It's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Butcher Box told me I'd always have my steak on time. Okay.
Yeah, we actually put a poll up. Decent amount of you guys so far actually know the difference between proof of work and proof of stake, which is what's going on with the Ethereum merge. Very small amount of you said you have no idea what it is. Yes, but not 100%. And 18% of you do like steak.
You have your priorities.
Love steak.
Yeah.
So we're speaking before coming out live of actually doing a conversation of what the hell the difference is and what this means to someone who's never even seen crypto at all.
Yeah.
And the importance of this. I love it.
James Goodall. One of those days.
I think everybody was blindsided yesterday, Philip.
Crocodile Dundette.
What happened to Jane Goodall?
Well, this is a knife.
Yeah, that's not a knife. This is a knife. The plan was going great until you came along and shot him. Nick's down there.
I love that.
That's hilarious. All right.
Figures
So
the chick that gets the gun shoots the good guy. Dang it. Way to set back women, women and guns 5 years. Anyways.
So before we get into the Ethereum conversation, we have some fun stuff to chat about. One of them being that Tesla has put out another product that sold out within minutes.
Mm-hmm.
One of our own, Don Frown of the Don Frown Show, is actually able to get his hands on it. So I'm sure we'll be having that live on the stream whenever that comes in. But it is very interesting. I don't understand. Like, they create the weirdest shit, guys.
I don't know. The freaking fire blower was pretty sweet. I mean, a rape whistle's good too, though.
Yeah, but like, it's just random, like Tesla tequila. It's just very random. and the flamethrower was also random. This is right up there, and it's a cyber whistle.
Get ready, guys.
It was inspired.
Yes.
It was inspired.
Does it call the truck for you? Is that how it works?
That's a good idea.
Whoa, bro, that would be fucking legit,
dude.
That happened.
Here it comes.
1,000 Doge.
the
What
way.
is Doge trading at? How much is this thing in dollars? What's 1,000 Doge?
A Doge?
Yeah, I never touched Doge or Shiba Inu or none of any of that, so I would
Although
not
the
know.
Doge Lord is watching.
Doge is at 6
Yeah.
cents.
Okay.
6 cents. So 1,000.
Yeah. So, damn. So
What is that,
Surprisingly, Doge
60 bucks?
didn't seem to like fall off as much as some of the other cryptos out there yesterday.
why is that surprising to you when they got Elon as the puppet master?
Well-
they know it's going to have a value randomly when he says something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
But yeah, it was surprising to me just because of the
The
CPI,
randomness. Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
yeah, well, yeah, just that and just how speculative it is, I guess.
Fair.
Usually the speculative stuff just goes much crazier.
But when you have a cult behind it,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that's the
Marketing.
Yeah, and that's what
Marketing
Palmer
works.
said, right? Palmer said he was very disappointed in the push and the meme crazy trading frenzy on Doge because he felt like it was building an army of misfit communities was his
What?
exact words.
I'm just
Yeah.
now seeing this.
Let me see that belt buckle.
I was just about
Yeah.
to say that.
wow.
Oh,
Look at this
that
thing.
is
Oh,
badass.
nice.
Don't
Oh,
mess with
mess
text.
with-
Oh my
Dude,
god.
man.
You definitely need that.
Dude.
You have a shit.
Is it sold out? Of course.
No, I don't think so,
No, you can get it for $100.
bro.
$100 damn bucks. That thing better be pure silver, but it's not.
No.
That
Intricate
is
detailed design.
awesome, though. I
Includes
guarantee you
prominent
that
Tesla
came out.
logo. Every
Yeah, when
Giga
he,
Texas belt buckle is manufactured from die-cast zinc, engraved and then brushed with antique silver finish.
Now, by the way, guys, we are working on our
Holy
store. Just to give you a little insight.
It doesn't look like this.
Hell no.
It's gonna look
And you can't pay in
Oh,
Doge.
yeah, I
a
know.
lot better. Try to keep up, Elon.
Yeah, right. But yeah, yeah, this is pretty hilarious.
That's just, I mean, the whistle's cool as hell. It's just somebody, an artist with their artist eye looked and said, I could make a whistle out of this truck. And there's your little trophy. There's your
What?
memento, right?
And that's
Oh
how
my
we
god,
all build.
yeah, it just continues to create the culture, man. It's
Yes,
just, it is
Well,
genius.
that's
Yeah, I mean,
Marcus
the
Apple.
second that was thrown up in our chat last night, Don Fran was like, "Where is it? I'm getting it now. I can't get through. I think I got it, but I don't know if I
don't
got
have
it.
a
Wait, I did. I got a confirmation.
Hey, Doge, but what the hell? You know, it's
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
bro,
who
is
has
this the first
Doge?
time in crypto? Yeah,
Yeah. So
Not-
it works.
Yeah, Don loves that shit. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I don't know
Well
what
done, Don.
I don't know what kind of personality it is, but he's one of those people that when something comes out like that, he just has to have it.
Yeah.
Or if one of his buddies gets a faster car than he has, he's going out and buying the next fastest car. Like that's just how he is.
Or a
But that's how
better
you build
piano.
community. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, literally, that's a community.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
It's brotherhood right there. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where if you do this, I'll do it better, right?
You're
You
right.
do
Peter's
this.
right. Kind of like the Metafy cubes that we'll be handing out.
Yes.
Mhm.
yes,
Those are gonna
exactly.
be cool. Those are gonna be cool.
Yep. And we've had conversations like everybody at Metafy has a magnificent car, beautiful car, a toy. I have a fucking minivan. You know, it's like
That's your fault.
That's a pimp ass minivan, though.
It is.
yeah, because of the kids and the wife. But outside of that, it's a shit mobile. You know,
Yes.
It's
I'm
an
just-
entertainment complex on wheels, is what that is. It's not a minivan.
It's awesome. You still
Yeah.
have BDE, Jaime. Don't worry. You're still cool, bro.
but that's what this type of community builds. Is literally these conversations. It's fun.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. It's like, what are they going to come up with? Like, who said, "Hey, let's build a whistle"?
I'm telling you, that's the artist. Some
Yes.
artist looked at the truck and said, it looks like a whistle. And then they did it.
Yeah,
Right. I mean, that's
Remember,
artist.
Tam, even in the community that was built in 1718, the Bitcoin pub, so many artists was coming out, and they would send shit to Peter like Rue balls. You know, like what the fuck is this? And you were sniffing that shit, Tam. You know, it's, like- it's just the artist coming into the
Oh
fold
my
and
God.
building with us. This is the result. He's building a really powerful community, and that's what our intention is with our own community at Metafy, is doing this.
Hey, speaking of
I
our community,
cannot
Boss
even.
Don is now going to get you a Rolls Royce mega van. So I think we need to hold him to it.
Oh damn!
oh shit.
Here we go. Let's see.
It's published.
Boss Don, be careful.
It's
And
set.
by the way, we're having Boss Don on Friday, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna be bringing you on and opening up these conversations.
Just drive
he's
that
like-
Rolls Royce on over and hop on the stream.
Done.
I like that Peter said that it's they know it's a troll. You all blown into that thing because Elon's done this before. Remember the shorts that went on sale and they sold out in like 10 minutes? It like broke the internet.
Seriously?
Yeah, literally. You don't remember this? Oh man. So
No, I just remember the fire thrower that I wanted so bad.
The
It was
flamethrower,
$500.
yeah.
I was
he
like,
put
hell
up
yes.
these red like short ass boxer shorts for when Tesla like went from
Like Daisy
like
Dukes?
200 to like 1300 what in that month and a half span.
Yeah.
And like just ripped all of the short sellers. So then he was trolling them by selling a pair of short shorts. They were like silk shorts, and they sold out in like 10 minutes. It literally crashed Tesla's website.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So
This is like
so when Bitcoin takes that shit we're expecting, that capitulation, and then rips all the shorts. Okay, done. The wheels are turning, guys. It's a bit slow, but it's turning.
So scary. So scary.
all right. So moving on.
Oh, Lord Spenver, sorry, not a flamethrower.
Why is it not a flamethrower?
I don't know.
What do you call it? You light it, fire comes out, you pull the trigger, it gets big. What? Why is that not a flamethrower?
Flame shooter? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
is that a torch? What? I
Lord,
mean, what
don't
do
get super
Yeah.
technical on us. That bitch is a flamethrower. It was $500 and I wanted it and I was
Fire
told
enema
no.
thrower.
Yeah.
All right.
It should have
We'll
been
talk
my
about
own
it, Lord.
wood.
So, speaking of cars, we're going to get into this a little bit in EVs. I'm just keeping along with the theme, and we will be getting into the Ethereum merge here, guys, in a bit. But there's just some interesting stuff going on in the auto world that I felt like couldn't go ignored. This one is very interesting, and this is Toyota, the world's largest automaker, isn't all in on electric vehicles. So Toyota is of the mindset that EVs and battery-powered vehicles aren't the only solution to producing more sustainable vehicles and achieving carbon neutrality. They have a goal to produce 3.5 million electric vehicles by 2030, which would be more than a third of its current sales, while the rival automakers promise to exclusively offer such vehicles. And I kind of wanted to get some thoughts on this as well, guys, because you know, we all drive vehicles. We might not be experts in everything, but we all drive cars. My thing is with this, just because, and I really, Don would have given a lot of good thoughts on this too, but there's a very limited supply in which we could create EVs. And I'm talking about lithium, raw materials, that sort of thing, nickel, to create the amount of electric vehicles that need to meet demand. There's just a limited supply there, and it's way more limited than oil and gas. But you know, Toyota is taking a different approach, looking at other things such as hydrogen and that sort of thing. Is Toyota thinking about this the right way?
Yes, and I can tell you why.
And okay, go ahead.
I can tell you why. Beyond it's just they're a global company. There's a reason they became the largest in the world. It's because they know how to build good quality vehicles. I mean, all other things aside, these are
Kanban.
Yes, exactly.
They were the first to really go nuts with Kanban.
Yes, and actually, this agile, which Peter is one of the world's greatest instructors in this, it's
One
the
of, I thought he
methodology.
was the.
My apologies, Doge Lord. I meant the best. Agile. If you don't believe it, Google it. So what they've done, and here's the reality of, although EV is the way towards the cleaner future, we can go into the how it's manufactured in another stream, but and how we get to the EV. But in terms of they're priced out for the rest of the world. In terms of, for example, EVs, it is affordable in the States, but it is unaffordable in the third world and everywhere else, or in the third world. So how do you enter, or how do you keep supplying that entire world community so they can keep transporting their goods and keep economies running? The only way to do it is by keeping the vehicles affordable also, but improving on the technology to keep the vehicles running. So I think it's a huge market outside of what the article says, I'm looking at it from a macro perspective. They still need to exist. If you pull it all out, and we've seen how when the battery dies and you go service it, it costs you about $28,000 if that battery goes dead on you to replace it. And someone
for Tesla especially, right? For a Nissan Leaf or a Chevy Bolt, they're a little bit less because they're a lower capacity battery. But yeah,
but it is affordable, let's call it, quote unquote, here in the States versus this happening in Suriname. It's like, bro, I'm out. I can't afford to replace this. I can't, or the battery goes out because you're going up a mountain hauling your stuff. It's strategically, it doesn't make sense to go full EV from a global perspective.
I like it. Yeah. Just because of the whole argument of all your eggs in one basket. I've done that in my investing portfolio today and not today, but before, and definitely got burned. So I like it. Yeah, please, let's not just act like lithium is the end all be all, because it's not. We all know that you're using, coal fueled vehicles, earth movers to get to the lithium in the first place. Like that right there just tells you everything you need to know, right? When it comes to heavy duty stuff.
One of the largest mines is just about 5 miles down the road from me.
Lithium?
Yep.
Yeah, I bet you see a whole bunch of diesel vehicles in that quarry nonstop getting the lithium. And we've experimented with different fuels, like biofuels. We have stuff here that we can, if we put enough money into, figure out, like biodiesels or biofuels. I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but since when did lithium become the only answer? So I like that Toyota's doing this just to have some other discoveries and some R&D, to something other than just lithium.
And that's what Toyota was saying too. They believe all electric vehicles are one solution, but not the solution for the company's goal to become carbon neutral. They're looking at things such as hydrogen fuel cell power vehicles, fuel cell plug-in hybrids, and the hybrids are still going to be a thing. The Prius obviously being one of the flagship hybrid vehicles in the space and just in the industry alone, not to mention just Toyota's flagship vehicle. So I think that they're definitely on to something. I don't know if they even really know all of the answers just yet. I think they're just like us, not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Yep. Absolutely.
So definitely give us your thoughts on that, guys. I think that is certainly one thing to really look at, and when it comes to those of you who invest in EV type stocks, right? Is there other alternative stocks out there that could be beneficial to something like this? Or do you just go after and put some money into Toyota because they're the ones that are thinking a little bit more outside the box? Even with Tesla, Elon doesn't really speak about hydrogen much because he thinks it's inefficient. It's not possible to build a car that can be affordable to the general public for that. Is Elon short-sighted, or is Toyota?
So hydrogen is not as easy to produce.
Yeah.
I was involved with a venture of that a few years ago, and yes, it's very expensive to produce. It is not as easily available out there. So I think it's the same mechanics that occurs on the back end. To get lithium, you need these diesel or coal, powered things. So hydrogen, you're going to need a lot of power to create the hydrogen enough to run it in a vehicle.
Yeah, I love what Scott put in here. He said hydrogen will not take off unless there is hydrogen pumps. EVs don't have that barrier to adoption. Scott's like a big investor in renewable energy and that sort of thing. So I know that about him. So yeah, it's a great point.
Yeah, Keith read my mind. Keith said, I love Edison Motors' idea. Semi-trucks based on trains, diesel over electric. That's what I was going to say is when a train is able to run on electric batteries, let me know. Otherwise, quit acting like our dependence on fossil fuels is expendable in 10 years. It's just not.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yes. But it's great that there's companies and thought leaders of how do we solve this problem? Because it is a problem.
Absolutely.
But let's be realistic.
But stop mandating that people need to quit driving, cars when we have pipelines in our country and everything else that will, fuel us with gas for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. Like,
Right.
act like this is a crisis.
Just to backtrack, I forgot about this. It's called not a flamethrower.
I did too.
Oh,
Yeah, he's right.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, he was right.
Keep it straight.
Yep.
It did say it on the side. This is not
yeah,
a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Just hilarious.
It's when you're reading comments like that, it's so hard to decipher which ones are like legit, which ones are meant to be serious, or which ones where sarcasm comes in. God, texting
Thank you,
sucks
Lord.
sometimes. But yes, appreciate that. Lastly, on the car front, we have to pour one out for the 300, man.
I know.
I almost thought so. The Chrysler is the end. Chrysler's the end production of the 300 sedan after rolling out limited edition V8 model. Did you guys remember when this car came out? It was like it was like a drug dealer mobile, man.
Yes.
Everybody thought they were Bentleys.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I first saw them, like, damn, they changed their face, and then looked behind them, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be real brief on this, but like, yeah, man, I was like, damn, this car's been out for 20 years, maybe.
Yeah.
20 years. Gunny says he loves his V8s. So it is the last one here, the last year that they're gonna make it is gonna be of course a V8 Hemi engine that produces 485 horsepower, 475 foot-pounds of torque, and it still weighs 10,000 pounds.
Go out with a bang, baby.
Not a battery.
Make it a collectible.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. It says they're only producing 2,000 of the cars for the US and 200 for Canada.
Yep.
55,000 starting.
Yeah.
In today's car prices, that's not bad.
Not for 475 horsepower.
And not for such a limited run either.
Right. Yeah. So anyways, it's just another one. The Chrysler is actually doing a lot of cool things with converting some of their stuff to EVs. I'm super pumped for the new Charger that actually looks like a Charger. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that thing is sexy as shit.
Actually, up.
Lord Fenrir showed that one to me. New EV Charger. It's got to be. And it
Dodge.
Dodge.
Actually, there it is, Dodge.
Yeah.
Or is it
I want to
Dodge?
know what it's.
Yeah, look at this thing. That's the new Charger. Looks pretty cool.
Blow that up.
Nice.
It looks really cool.
Oh, it's electric.
Yeah, it's all electric.
Yeah.
Do they add the sound?
Yes. they
Okay,
do.
so they do. as
Yeah.
you're driving. Okay.
Yeah. See, it's got the cool full brake light in the back, just like the old Chargers did. Actually looks like
Nice.
To me, it looks a lot like the Challenger.
It does.
a little bit. Yeah.
It does. It looks a whole lot like it. I agree.
Maybe the merge in Dodge is happening.
You know, it'd be cool. Oh, I didn't even catch this. Look at this, the front of it. See how it's got that front spoiler like that? That's really
Blow
cool.
it up just a little.
Yeah, you got to blow it up, brother.
I'm
I
doing
can't
control.
see.
No, if
Glad you and Jaime are enjoying the sexy curves of the car. There we go.
Sorry. I know.
damn. Yeah.
It is really slick. I'm just
That's
being
beautiful.
a car guy, that who has gasoline running through his veins. I've never really been one to be like, oh yeah, I have to have that EV. This is one where I'm like, all right, that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
What's the starting price?
I don't remember if they actually had a starting price on this yet, or they've released a starting price. They said they're gonna, I think, start producing this in 24.
It's a,
Oh, yeah. So
yeah, it'll be 120K.
I was gonna say it's probably gonna be six figures, but
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
yeah, it's crazy.
Would you rather have this or would you rather have a Tesla Cybertruck?
I
I would like the truck personally.
Me too.
think the Cybertrucks are ugly as fuck.
I like
Yeah, but
I'd
they're
rather have-
badass.
I'd rather have a Rivian.
No.
Rivian.
So I've
Yeah.
test driven a Rivian, and they are pretty awesome. I just don't know if I could justify the $80,000 price tag for them.
Yeah.
Based
I'm
off
interested in
of-
what our audience
Like-
has to say.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think.
I'll let you know after I get my Lightning.
I still love my Gladiator.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I think I probably would rather have a Lightning over a Rivian. I think the capability of the Lightning is just way better.
Yeah,
And I
But
think this,
I love Jeeps when it comes to the actual Jeep, the Wrangler and the Scramblers and the Saharas and the Rubicons. Like I know Keith hates Chrysler products and I get it, but the
No,
Jeep
no.
is the Jeep.
He hates
man.
new Chrysler products. He likes
That's
the
fair.
old Chrysler products.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
fair. Yeah, and I, you know, I tell him all the time because Keith works with us at Medify, and I tell him all the time, even though the reasons why he does it or did it make sense, he still cannot talk that shit when he bought a 4-banger Jeep Wrangler. It was probably an automatic too. So the fact that you own that, understandably why you got it, you're not allowed to talk shit anymore. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing for
Especially
me.
to me, who had a 99 Wrangler with the straight line 6. So
if Jeep makes a Gladiator that's EV that like is actually I can take off road and beat the fuck out of, I'm sold. Because the thing it is like you could buy a Cybertruck. I don't know what the undercarriage of that looks like. What if I puncture a battery while I'm off-roading with that thing? Like I don't know. Yeah, right. Like it'll be on fire for 4 days.
as will all the woods around it, because it's not like you off-road in a parking lot.
But that's my thing. Like so I know Lord Blade Runners is the New Balance shoe of the car world. I disagree. Jaime has a fucking minivan. It's not even close.
We're laughing, but you will resemble that remark here very shortly.
Oh yeah,
That is a good point. Does have a point.
But
We're gonna clip that right there.
but
Back in his face.
But that's my thing. Off-road parking lot. yeah. So but anyways,
Peter just has pavement princesses. That's what he has.
right. that's also true. Yeah. So Peter's is the epitome of the New Balance Gladiator, because I don't think and correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, it's never seen anything other than a parking lot. Warranties on wheels. I have to say, so the Gladiator is my first like post 2006 Wrangler of sorts. So I have to see how it shakes out, because I haven't had it for that long. But all of my like TJ Wranglers that still had like that 4-liter 6-cylinder. I mean, it was bulletproof. I never had any problems with those. And
It's awesome. That's what I had.
They were great.
Yep, 99 TJ.
Oh, it has
inline 6.
Hey, Peter, a photo shoot doesn't count.
the worst looking things look beautiful in the photo shoot.
Right. Okay. Getting back on track here. So just getting on the inflation conversation real quick. We talked about this briefly yesterday. Well, I wouldn't say briefly. We talked about it for quite a bit yesterday. Inflation isn't just about fuel costs anymore, as price increase broaden across the economy. And we'll see you later, Greg. He's getting ready to go to a meeting. Jaime is getting ready to go to one as well. So we'll let you guys go too.
Have a good one.
And Tampa and I will tackle the rest of the show here. So, we saw inflation numbers yesterday that were higher than expected, despite the amount that gas prices came down, Tamp, and a good proxy for grocery prices has increased by 13.5% over the past year, the largest rise since 1979. And I think if anybody who's been going grocery shopping can attest to this, I'm sure that you can. I know that I can, and it's been really rough.
Mm-hmm. It really has. Honestly, all my grocery shopping, I now do it at warehouses, whether it's Sam's, Costco, BJ's warehouse, wherever you are. And I just buy in bulk, and I got a chest freezer, and I just freeze as much as I can now, because it's, it's crazy. You can't just run to the store anymore and pick up something for $5 and have a decent meal. It's wild. And I like how this article came out, and yesterday Biden was on TV touting his interest reduction plan. And he's on the TV, with his aviators looking like a badass, because they really do look great on the guy. I'm not going to lie. He nails it with those aviators.
He pulls them off, man.
Mike, timing. I mean, we get mad at our significant others about this all the time. It's not what you say, it's when the hell you told me. Like, can you not have better timing? Right. And this sucker, pulled it off in spades yesterday, looking like $1 million, talking about inflation going down when CPI was through the roof. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Who advises this guy?
8.3% was the number for August, and I don't know. It's interesting. You know, we talked about yesterday the railway workers also going on strike, which is only going to bring up inflation even more if that indeed takes place, which it looks as if it will, costing the economy $2 billion a day. So I'm definitely worried about our pocketbooks for one, but the economy for two. Having said that, you just said it, Tamp. You know, how do we invest in things that are recession resistant or inflation resistant? The grocery stores. And I actually had this pulled up, was Costco. Costco's been doing really well. This is the daily chart on Costco. If you guys are looking on a traditional side of things to look for areas to park your money, Costco, in my opinion, is going to be that stock that definitely has that pricing power, and they've outperformed other areas such as Walmart and Target, because Walmart and Target still haven't figured out the inventory issues that they've had. But Costco has been doing really well. Another one would be something like BJ's, could be another stock to go after as well. You can see that obviously speaks for itself on the chart on how much they've been able to price in the inflation there to consumers. People got to eat, and there's no way around that. You're not going to lose dollars because inflation's going up on the grocery store front, or other companies that have pricing power like this. So these are the types of stocks that I would look for personally to in this environment. So while it might seem that everything is all doom and gloom, there are bright spots within the markets that you can park your money. That you just have to do some digging and figure out what makes sense. These types of stocks like BJ's, Costco, Kroger, even be another one that I would take a look at. And you know, it's corrected a little bit, but it's still sustaining here much better than the overall market is.
Yep. And like you said, people got to eat. And I want to encourage anybody in the chat to live, if, you know, like Brad just said, hey, do some research, figure out what might be sticky in this type of environment. If you find one or two things stock wise or even crypto wise that you're curious about, can this work? Throw it in the chat and we'll take a look at it here, review it, give our thoughts, our 2 cents that might not even be worth that, and, you know, try to help you out. So I encourage anybody who wants to do that to do it. But yeah, I mean, you're right on the stock side where you need to find money, but on the practical side, like you said, people have to eat, right? So one of the things that I did is I went in with my brother, right? My brother has his own family of 4. I have, you know, me and another mouth, and then my 2 parents. We split a cow, right? Like, we found a farmer, bought the cow. After it got raised up, so to speak, you know, ate enough, watered enough, we made an appointment at a local butcher and told the butcher what we wanted out of the cow. My brother took half of that cow. I took the other half. The reason I bring it up and why it's worth it, even though it takes some time, is I did invest in deep freezer because I think I ended up with like 400 pounds of meat, you know, in one day.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, I know the price of meat is going up as well. I think we ended up somewhere around like $2.30 a pound, something like that, right? Maybe a little bit more than that per pound of meat, which for something like ground beef could be really, really expensive. But if you're talking about the fillets or some of the sirloin cuts that we got, that's dirt cheap. So it all evens out. So it's a practical thing to look into these days when inflation keeps going up and food, which we all need, keeps inflating as well, right? So
Yeah.
I think this is something that people should look at on the practical side of food.
Which also is why we're seeing energy stocks go up too, right? Because they're also going to have that pricing power as we can see supply constraints come down and that sort of thing. You know, just getting back to some of that stuff, Johnson and Johnson, Procter & Gamble, all of those types of companies are going to be able to continue to maintain their prices and price inflation because people need to shave their face, people need, or their legs, whatever. People, you know,
their armpits.
Yeah,
It's getting important.
So that kind of stuff just isn't going to go away. And as inflation comes up, those prices, those products are going to continue to, those companies are going to continue to price in for the consumer. So that I think is definitely important to take a look at. If you guys are worried about what's going on, those are some areas that I would probably consider just watching and looking at, giving it a shot. And
See what Don said.
Yeah, that's fine. Don. Yeah.
He's talking a lot. We got to bring him on. We've had
lot of shit.
yeah, we've had good convos already with cars and everything
I
else.
know.
He could throw his 2 cents in.
Yeah, he said I bought a baby cow. Buddy grew it as long as I paid for his to be butchered. I had a whole freezer for hamburger and a wild freezer for steaks.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know it's crazy because you can get to the point where you really do think, damn, I got to have steak again. I mean, it's a lot of meat, but
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense. I think if you're a family of 4 plus, you could justify a whole cow for sure.
Yeah.
But if not, if you don't want that much meat, or maybe you're not a family of 4, find a buddy and split it with them. That's all you got to do. You and a buddy go in halvesies and you divvy out the meat once you pick it up in about 7 different big cardboard boxes.
Yep. Absolutely. So next topic here for today, and is the topic of the day, is Ethereum. We now have about 15 hours, 47 minutes before this merger takes place. And I actually want to ask you this, Dan, because I don't know why this is, and maybe this is, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not even going to speculate. It says 15 hours, 45 minutes. Earlier, this was at around 1:15, 1:14 a.m. that the merger was going to go through. Why does the time keep changing? Why does it keep fluctuating?
Because it's an estimate. What the hard merge, when the hard merge will happen, is actually a block number. So on the blockchain, basically what the blocks are is a grouping of data that is then validated or verified and then added on to a chain, an open ledger chain. And then you just keep adding these blocks of data one after the other, i.e. reminiscent of a chain.
Yeah.
So the actual merge is scheduled for a particular block number. And it is estimated that that block number will hit at approximately this time on this date. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's really more, think of it as a mile marker, right? If you're at mile marker 225 and you need to get to mile marker 300, and that 300 is the finish line, you can estimate roughly from where you're at to how you'll get those 75 miles from 225 to mile marker 300. And that's the difference.
So it's based on how much of this is being mined, and not so much on the actual time it's going to happen.
That's correct. It is an estimated time.
Gotcha.
It does look like it's going to happen. I mean, I have my doubts. That I think my doubts are quickly being that window is closing where this might actually happen. I still have not a hope. It's not a hope, but I still have a little bit of hesitation that the merge will actually happen. That window is closing though. But what I do think will happen, because this honestly, if we're honest, this is one of the biggest newsworthy events in the entire history of all cryptocurrency and Bitcoin combined. This is a humongous deal.
Which is what we were talking about. Like, is it overrated or underrated? So it seems as if maybe you're actually an underrated camp.
I am. But and that's justifiable because ETH has said it's going to merge for 5 years now, right? So that keeps getting kicked down the road. But if the merge actually happens, it is a huge, huge deal, a massive deal for a proof of work coin that has been rolling for 12 years now, right? It's one of the oldest after Bitcoin. It's certainly the oldest in the proof of it will be the oldest proof of stake coin if they do successfully merge to proof of stake. But what I do think will happen if the merge takes place is that they were going to have a ton of software problems in terms of smart contracts not working, in terms of price oracles not working, in terms of just different layer ones having issues on their site when swapping currencies. There's a lot of problems that can happen when you introduce software, which is why some people are so bearish on this transition happening. You don't have these problems with proof of work, which is why Bitcoin is just so solid, but that does have its problems as well in terms of congestion and latency and, things getting expensive when there's, a lot of people wanting to push things through on that chain. So.
Now, the thing about this is, and there looks as if there was a pretty decent participation here in the poll. Many people know the difference between proof of stake and proof of work, but it's only about 50% of the viewers here that are of that. So can you just give like a quick brief explanation of what the difference is and why this is actually important to Ethereum?
Yes. I mean, in the simplest fashion, proof of work is you take miners, which are basically computer towers, just think of them like that, and the computer towers do all the calculations for you and add each block of data to the chain. It's very solid in terms of security because you have computers doing everything for you. There's no smart contracts. There's no interaction with anything but what the computer is responsible for, and it adds it to the chain. There's a lot of good that comes from that, but there's also some issues with that. Proof of stake is where you have validators or only a certain number of people. You take those miners away, the energy sucking miners that everybody's so concerned about. You take those away, and you basically take coins. In ETH's case, you're going to take the Ether coin. You're going to hold those coins. You're going to lock them up. And then you have what's called validators that have access to these coins, that they take a lot of fees and they bring money into the network by fees and other standards. And then the miner or the validators there are then rewarded. They're basically issued more coins for validating or securing the network, which is all done through smart contracts, which is just computer codes, smart contracts. And then once the validators get their coins, they then delegate it to the delegators, who are you and me, who can also lock up our coins to secure the network. It's a little confusing, but one uses smart contracts, proof of stake. The other does not use smart contract. That's proof of work. And I know it sounds a little confusing, but the problem with proof of stake is security. Proof of work is super, super secure. Its number one strength is how secure proof of work coins are, i.e. Bitcoin. Once you move to proof of stake, you introduce a lot more computer code, which again, that opens you up to hackers. That opens you up to the code being wrong. That opens you up to something just breaking that can halt the network. There's a lot of things when you go to proof of stake, it's a lot faster, which is why people want it, especially with ETH, since it is a transaction or an app-based protocol. But you do sacrifice security big time. You open yourself up to a world of hurt if you are not on top of your code game.
So I think I want to say that Lord Fenrir said something about that too. That yeah, Fenrir said I think it's going to hurt ETH, less secure going into POS. So it just ties into what exactly that you were saying and the risk there. And I saw an interview with Sam Bankman-Fried, CEO of FTX, talking about this too. That there's definitely going to be some sort of growing pains.
Yep.
With this, and it'll be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. A couple of other comments here. Dom was actually asking, no, not this one. Oh yeah, why wouldn't it happen at this point? Is there still some risk here that if Ethereum this merge won't actually take place?
Yes, there absolutely is. Again, the window is closing, but there's a massive chance that just the amount of code needed for this change, that something in that code will go wrong, which is why it's taken 5 years of talk of the merge up to this point, because Ethereum would start testing this new code to transition to proof of stake on their testnet channels, and somebody would inevitably find a problem. So you have to go back and you have to look through all this code and figure out where the hitch is and fix it, right? And this is a massive undertaking. On top of that, because you get rid of the proof of work computers that do everything, you're just getting rid of that, and you introduce these groups called validators. All of the validators have to be on the same page to move the network forward at the same time. And if they're not, then your open ledger is screwed and you could halt the whole network, which at this point, ETH is so big, halting that network would be detrimental. You cannot let that happen. So the biggest concern is just simply the ability to execute code of this magnitude all at once.
Gotcha. Ethereum is up almost 100% since June 19th. And so just looking at this right now, if we do see something like that happen, I would imagine if it doesn't go through, Tamp, that we would see Ethereum just have a massive drop off, and we could see this actually be an instance in which we could retest the lows. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, and that's what I meant when I was saying I could see some issues. If the merge happens, I think you're going to see ETH skyrocket until you come into the first software issue of ETH, be it with a price oracle or a stable coin or the network itself. You are going to see a bug somewhere. And the second that happens, it's going to be huge doom and gloom. We knew it. We told you ETH can't be proof of stake. It got hacked. It got this. It got whatever due to code being exploited. Then you're going to see it tank. And then luckily, the crypto memory is very, very short. As soon as ETH or whatever protocol on ETH comes out and says, hey, yes, we were hacked, or yes, we found a problem with the code, but we've since patched it. We've moved on. The crypto memory is short, and then people will once again start using whatever protocol, and the price will inevitably rise again. But you see this all the time of if it does merge tonight, really.
Yeah.
Boom, you're going to see ETH explode in price until the first issue due to code. And then everybody's going to freak out. The FUD's going to be real.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to actually stay up for that. Go follow us at Hello Metafy. We have a Twitter account over there. If you guys want to go check that out, I'll be updating you guys on the Ethereum merge, and it'll be fun. I almost kind of thought about going live at 1 a.m.
We can. I got to catch a flight I got to leave at like 4 in the morning.
I know.
Hey, I'll get up with you. Why not? Battle.
I mean, yeah, I'm not obligating you to that at all. It was just definitely a thought that I had. I was like, it'd be kind of cool if we did it, but
good.
We can talk about that all fair. Looking at the couple other things, Sean was asking, it's a good question. What token do you think miners might switch to?
It's going to be different because these are going to be GPU miners. They're not the same as Bitcoin ASIC miners. It's the same idea in proof of work, but different type of miner. I guess think of it as, a car is not the same thing as a tractor, right? Like they're both vehicles, they're both transportation in their own form, but not exactly the same thing. So to answer your question, I don't really know. I don't know a ton of GPU coins. There's a lot out there. And I think you're going to see two things. You're going to see some ETH proof of work miners going to those other coins, just trying to continue to use them. But the GPU market, if you're looking to buy a GPU miner, hang on about a week because you're about to see the market flooded with them because people are just going to abandon them if the merge happens. If ETH does fully go to proof of stake, the GPU miner supply is about to get a massive boost, and those things will be dirt cheap compared to today.
Yeah. Great. This is a great discussion. I actually learned shit when I talk to you about this stuff. So it's just as entertaining and a great learning experience for me. So I certainly appreciate it. Getting into some other things. If you guys have questions about this as well, go check us out on our Discord. The links are in the description below. And go join us over at MetaFam, our MetaFam Discord. Tamp's in there quite a bit talking about Cosmos as well. That's kind of her jam at the moment.
Love it.
But we have plenty of people in there that'll interact with you and talk about this merge as well. I'm kind of pumped for this. And the more that I'm thinking about it, the more I might be up late tonight live.
I like it.
The shit. So looking at a couple of other items though that we wanted to chat about today, and this kind of hurts your heart, I think, a little bit.
Hurts my heart big time. I get it. This is a story I just want to follow. I think, in a different category. I was heavy into the Terra Luna ecosystem because of Cosmos. I love Cosmos, and Terra was the star child for a very long time. And I was very heavily invested in Luna. There's a lot of things we can say on the shoulda, woulda, coulda front. But unlike a lot of people, I don't blame Do Kwon for this at all, for the Terra fall. Are there things that he did that I think contributed to him being a target that ultimately took down Terra? Absolutely. He got super cocky. He got interested in things that shouldn't have mattered especially on social media. He got his mouth got too big for his ego is what happened. And that contributed to him being a target that ultimately took it down.
So let's back for a second. So why is their arrest warrant out for Do Kwon, and what happened with this whole Terra thing, and why is it that you're so closely tied to this?
Well, the arrest warrant, from what we understand, it doesn't state explicitly what he's being arrested for. That's why I feel like we need to be careful and just let this story develop a little bit more before saying any absolutes.
Yeah.
But if we had to guess, it's most likely going to be related to the amount of staking rewards that he accumulated while the Terra Luna ecosystem was up and running, and any sort of taxes that he may have owed on what is, I'm sure, an astronomical amount of staking rewards. He probably owes a shit ton of taxes. And I don't know, maybe he can pay him, maybe he can't pay him. But the fact of the matter is, he likely has not paid those taxes. And that's, if I had to guess, what they're going to try to come after him for. They're going to have a problem because Do Kwon, he's wrote some code as far as Terra is concerned, and UST, Terra stablecoin. He wrote code. He definitely was a trumpet and a mouthpiece for the protocol, but he didn't own those tokens. He didn't give them out, right? He's not the issuer. So that's why it's been hard, people yelling and screaming for him to be arrested. I mean, I get that you're mad and you want to see somebody come to justice for it, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree here. I think a lot of people that got burned in that need to look in the mirror and understand you learned a lesson, because you are paying the consequence of your own action. You invested into it, right? You got on the hype train. You FOMO'd, right? Do Kwon didn't hold a gun to your head and make you do anything, right? So I am, what I lost in Terra, which, I mean, it was a decent 7 figures is what I lost. A rock solid 7 figures is the value that I lost. And again, that's on me though, right? Like, no, I did things because I believed in Terra so much. I did things out of the ordinary, right? I sold a piece of land that I owned and all profits went to Terra. I sold my Jeep that I was just talking about. All of that went to Terra. I took out certain amounts of my 401k that went to Terra, right? Why is that Do Kwon's fault? It's not.
Right.
That's my fault. That's my fault. And it's for a greater conversation. And it's a huge lesson for me, but I'm not mad at Do Kwon. Why? Because he didn't rug the protocol. He didn't hack the protocol and heist and just take all the money and hightail it. That's not what happened at all. He made something that he claimed was his greatest invention he had ever made. And in a lot of ways, it should have worked and would have worked if he didn't get in his own way. But he didn't rug anybody. It was just an experiment that failed, right? And my value in Terra failed with that. But how I got the value into the protocol is on me. That's not on Do Kwon, right? And I would like to know, especially all these people, what other protocol that fails, not is rug, but what other protocol that fails has the leader of the protocol getting all the developers on board, figuring out immediately how to resurrect the coin. How do we make it as right as we possibly can? How do I keep these developers in the ecosystem, these protocols and layer ones that they're building on top of everything? How do I keep that in the system and then issue coins, new coins in Luna 2.0 to try and resurrect and step back and have our lessons learned and move forward? There's not a lot of protocols that do that. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure of any, right? So I think a lot of people need to check themselves. It's rough looking at Twitter and, on the announcement that Do Kwon that he has a warrant, there's all these people clapping and celebrating it. And I don't get it. I don't get that, because that's on you. You're trying to divert the fact that you're responsible for your loss. Not Do Kwon, not me, not anybody, not the person who talked you into buying it in the first place. It's not their fault, right? So check yourself. That's just how I feel.
I love it. I love it. Great show today, Tamp. And thanks. Shout out to Greg and Jaime for showing up for the first half of this. This is another great show. I'm super pumped, and I learned a lot today. I appreciate you being here, Tamp. Go follow her over at Coach Tamp on the socials, and go follow us at Hello Medify on Twitter and the socials as well. Also, go check us out at Discord. The links are in the description below. Go check us out at themedify.co. We'd love to have you guys see what we have going on. There's so much to chat about, what we are actually building and growing into, and I'm super pumped for it. And we would love to have you guys be a part of that as well. So feel free to go look at those links down in the description. And guys, before you leave, make sure you're hitting that like button on your way out the door. We certainly appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time to go over the hopeful Ethereum merge that will take place, most likely.
Likely. Looks like it. We'll see, though.
And we'll be chatting about that, I'm sure. So, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell, too, as well. And we will see you all tomorrow.
See you later.